loves, welcome back or welcome to my channel. This is Cheyenne, otherwise known as Cozy Shy, and today we're back with another speed build video, and we're going to be working with the Able sisters. I'm really excited to get into this build because I do have some plans. I did lay out a little bit of the path just so I could see where I wanted to place it, but I was thinking to, of course, end the path here, but I wanted to add a bunch of cliffs behind and maybe put a lot of clotheslines and like just a lot of like clothing related things above the Able sisters, so in the background it'll look like it's a building extended. I don't know if that makes sense, but I kind of want to like make it go along with my entrance, how there's a lot of background buildings going on, so I thought that would be very fitting for the Able sisters as well, just to continue the tall backdrop. So I really want to see how that will look, so let's get into the speed build. Okay, so since I kind of already put the stone pathing first, I'm just kind of finishing it up just to, you know, complete the stone pathing, because I'm having this throughout my entire island, so it just like takes a while to get those placed. So that's what I'm doing at first. And then I believe I'll start working on the brick pathing that I've been layering on top of it, the custom code. Also, for reference, all of the custom codes that I'm using on this island are available in my card link. You can find that in my description. It'll show all the custom codes for my island of Calathea. But yeah, so you can just see how I am just laying down the path, trying to figure out how I want this to end, because this is at the edge of the island on the left side, and I just feel like it's kind of awkward. So I wasn't sure how I wanted to place it at first, but then I was like, you know what, why don't, because like, okay, at first I wanted to make the road continue around Able Sisters, but then I realized that's not what I want to do. And eventually I just kind of like cut it off and make it a little bit round, because like, what if I just make a seating area instead? So eventually you'll see me do that, because I thought that would look better. Okay, so now I am just building up the cliffs behind the Able Sisters because I really wanted to put a space like for more clothes, I guess, like the clothing racks, the drying clothing racks, and the clothesline. I thought those items would be really cute peeking out from behind the Able Sisters, so that's what I'm prepping for right now. I just been wanting to add a lot more dimension to this island and this build in general, because I just feel like it helps enhance and give that perspective of, you know, taller buildings. Because, you know, this is my Dark Academia Island and I kind of wanted to be consistent throughout, so I thought adding the cliffs and different items to create the dimension that I want will make it look more realistic, like something you would see in real life. So I'm just prepping the area for that. Now I am just making some space because I realized the panels that I put down just don't look. Like, I need more dimension, like I mentioned before. So I was messing around with these little like bunk bed items, but then I eventually settled with, I guess it was the bookshelves that I settled down with. I can't remember. I'm filming my voiceover after I built this, so I kind of forgot the process I did things. But yeah, so just adding dimension with like bookshelves, antique wardrobes, you know, the usual items that I use based off of my entrance as well. And here I'm just trying to play around with how I want to fill the space because it really bothers me that we can't put the in-game pathing like over the grass. Like, you see how the grass is just flush to the end? Like, why can't we have the in-game pathing flush to the end? I just feel like sometimes the grass just ruins everything. Like, for example, like you see the tree in the background, like I wish I could just place that, like, I mean, I guess it wouldn't make sense to put it on top of the stone. But at least for like the other stuff, like especially like when we're putting inclines, I'm not going off on a tangent, but you know when we put inclines and stuff up and it still shows the grass, like I don't want the grass to peek through. Anyways, rant over. So back to the build, I decided that I need more space on the top because again, I want to put some items there. So now I'm just filling the grass with a random custom code like brick pattern, I guess. There's no particular reason why I chose this one. I just thought it looked nice and I was like, you know what, why not just put this here? And now I'm just like, you know, creating my building illusion with the simple panels. And I think I realized I didn't have space again, so I'm pretty sure, yeah, I start tearing down the cliff again because I needed more space to put the fencing, because then I also wanted to put down a clothes hanging rack. So I eventually get to that decorating portion. Yeah, by the way, this build literally took me 3 days to complete. I just decided to take my time, so you'll see like some jump cuts here and there, and you're like, wait, when did that get placed there? I'm like, yeah, I forgot to film like some portions of the speed build, but I got majority of it filmed. But there's that hanging clothes rack that I mentioned earlier, so I was just trying to make sure I got the spacing right. And then I decided to just, you know, tear down the cliff, because I think, yeah, wedding pipe organs, you know, I needed to add some more height to the build, so I wanted to see how this would look like, and yeah, so of course, with any build, you have to go down to the bottom to make sure it looks right. So you see me going up and down a lot just to make sure I like how it's looking. I can't remember what I ended up doing in this spot. But we'll find out together. I totally forgot. But I just know I keep messing around with different items to see what height looks better. Oh, I remember. I think the reason why I did that, yeah, was to see if we could see the building better from the bottom, because I realized originally we couldn't see these simple panels when they were like on the first level. So I was like, okay, let me add some on the second level so we can see it better from the bottom. Yeah, I believe that's what I ended up doing. Anyways, I'll stop talking now and you guys can just enjoy the speed build, and I'll touch base in a bit. Okay, so now I'm just trying to figure out like what items to use for height in the background, because I keep going back and forth between like the wedding pipe organ and whatever, but I put down this light, what is that thing called? Lighthouse? And I thought that was just the exact item I needed for height behind, and I just feel like it blends well. So I definitely just, you know, went with that because I just thought it looked nice. And now I am getting ready to add, I think, some more things behind the panels just to add a little bit more dimension. I can't remember what I ended up putting. Oh, the bookshelves? Yeah. So, because I felt like the wedding pipe organs were too tall to put behind this building, so the bookshelves just ended up looking a lot cleaner in my opinion. And I do like layering the tall items together too, because it just again adds the dimension you need for some of these buildings. So yeah. So now I'm just finishing up the left portion of the cliff behind the Ables, just putting down the same custom code tiles just to keep it consistent with the right side. And I decided to make it like a little bit symmetrical because I really like the cypress trees. I thought it looked nice. And you know how I mentioned before I wanted to incorporate a clothesline because again, this is the Able sisters. So I thought that'll be a nice little touch for our girls Mabel and Sable. And of course, you know, just adding height to the build, and yeah, it just looks pretty good so far. I'm honestly really happy with how the build is coming out. Alright, so that is it for my Able Sisters speed build. I hope you guys liked the process of me doing this. I definitely went back and forth so many times to get this build right, but I'm finally happy with how it looks like. I'm so excited. I'm really liking this theme so far. I feel like I'm finally channeling who I am. Like, I just feel like this is me. I just feel so happy. I think this is probably my favorite like theme that I've ever done, and I don't know, I'm just really happy. I'm sure you guys can tell. But I hope this helped you guys understand more like the process behind building these like interesting forced perspective type of simple panel builds and all the items that you can incorporate to make these kind of builds. So anyways, if you guys liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and click that notification bell button on so you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. And with that being said, I will see you beautiful humans next time. Goodbye!